Good evening. Hey, Mep here. Mep Investments. Been away for a week. Sorry, subscribers. Haven't done any videos. Uh, was getting some tax stuff situated and making some moves in the market. I hope everybody's surviving this market. We've had a couple of rough weeks here with the bond yields going up and putting pressure on the overall markets, especially the tech space. Let me put up here the Thinkorswim and go through some of the futures. The dollar, the one I always keep my eye on the dollar. The dollar has had a big rally in the last. I want to say the last. Well, let's just look at the monthly chart. So here's the monthly chart, and it had a low of 89.60, 89.68, and now it closed under 92. Now I don't think this will continue. I think this is a dead cat bounce. Pulling up the weekly 3-month week. So 89.20 was the low. In my opinion, this will come back down eventually. We have the stimulus package being worked out at the White House for unemployment benefits and stimulus for families, etc. Making certain incomes. I think for individuals, it's under 75K, and for married couples filing jointly under 150K, you get $1,400 per individual. So if you're a family of 3, and you get and you have a kid and your wife and yourself, and you make less than 150, you should be getting like 4,200. And they're working on extending the unemployment benefits. They're going back and forth. It was gonna be an extra 400 in federal aid and extending it through August. Now they're looking at maybe extending it through October and making it 300 instead of 400 with federal aid. And also they're talking about maybe not charging taxes on the first $10,000 of the unemployment you collect. I'm in that boat. I was laid off in November. I've been involved in markets for many years, and over the last couple years, I've really learned a lot about the derivative space in regards to futures and options. And I've made videos. You could check the archives. I always recommend Tasty Work. They have good education there. Or just watch his channel and learn and ask questions. So with the dollar up, all the currencies here, all the sixes were down except the loonie, and surprised the peso wasn't up as well, but the loonie was up a little bit. All the others were down. Loonie's a big out of Canada, big commodity-driven country. So maybe because oil's been on a tear, over here you can see oil up another 4%. Now, if you look at the 6-month chart on a weekly basis, oil was at 33 and now it's at 66. Big move in oil, huge. You're gonna be seeing higher prices at the pump, and also when you have a higher energy input in oil, you're automatically going to have higher inflation and higher cost of goods, etc., transportation-wise. Bitcoin is shy of 50K. I was reading an article on China having China's plan for a digital yuan. I might just copy the link and put it in the video so you can read the article. And this might bring some pressure if they roll this out on the crypto space. And China doesn't play around. They might have some regulations for other for some of the coins and stuff like that. My current plays in coins, I scaled. Let me take a sip of water here a second. In the sell-off, I wasn't able to get, hurt unscathed. I had some losses. I'm still up for the year nicely. Can't complain. It's part of the business. But with such movement in the markets, it's very, in my opinion, it's easier to manage and using the indexes or the futures instead of just picking particular names. When you have markets moving so much, I just like using the futures or indexes instead of picking particular names. Right now, I don't think it's a stock picker market. I think it's more of just playing the indexes and being in different asset classes. So that's Bitcoin. I touched on oil. Oil's on a tear. I would try and get into it. I did a couple calendars in XLE, which is an ETF that has exposure to oil, to energy names. XLE, very highly liquid. So I did a calendar in here because I think there's gonna be a pullback, but I think the trend is still higher. So I did a calendar spread here, and I also used XOP, which is another ETF, which is the oil and gas exploration ETF, and they're very liquid, very nice ETFs. Did that as well. But like I said, energy's been on a tear, so be careful because crude has gone up a lot. We had a nice rally today, which was kind of weird because the yields are pretty still stable as where they were yesterday. But we did have Jerome Powell, the the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, talk about inflation. Excuse me, sorry about that. So he spoke in a meeting and yesterday. I forgot, it was something with Wall Street meeting or something. And he talked about signals of inflation are ahead. So inflation erodes your purchasing power, your dollars. So if you got inflation coming, we have inflation coming up ahead. You really don't want to be in dollars because it hurts your purchasing power. And I think the dollar had a dead cat bounce today. So the S&P rallied 75 points, and I have a position in the smaller one. As you can see, when I have a position, you have a little green flag. So I have a position in there, and I did nicely today. I bought the dip when we went down. The one that is really confusing me, and I have a huge position, I've added, and I'm down a good chunk, but I'm still holding. Is gold. I don't have it. I think I have it a little bit under 1750, but gold has amazed me. It's just been trading. Today was low was 1685, and the high was the low was 1683, and the high was 1705. So it was pretty range bound. But if you look at the 6 month chart here weekly, gold has come down from 2,000 to under 1,700. If the Fed chairman is telling you inflation is ahead, the ultimate hedge, in my opinion, is gold or silver, but both are not reacting well out of all the commodities. And I'll go to another screen here, and we could look at some performances year to date, which are very helpful, very very helpful. The lean hogs, the futures, they're 87 cents. They've been pretty stable. Copper has been on a tear, an industrial metal, and they're saying that it has to do with it having some applications in the what's the word I'm looking for, the green space, for cars and stuff like that, in the EV cars and all this green energy space. Copper is basically 40 cents of all-time highs. So it's been on a tear. And this contract's pretty expensive and pretty volatile, this copper contract. So your best play to have correlation to copper is Freeport-McMoRan, which I own it. And I think it's going to go much higher. Freeport-McMoRan was up 7% today. 52-week high is 39, and 52-week low is 4. And I think it'll continue to go higher. If you look at the chart, it looks like there's more room ahead. So this is a copper and gold play if you want some correlation to copper. If you want some correlation to Bitcoin, I'm playing it with PayPal. PayPal, I think, is a decent name with correlation to Bitcoin. And also Square is another name that you can use as correlation to Bitcoin and other aspects. So if you want to have some exposure there, I would say that's probably the way to go. Or the chip makers, NVIDIA or AMD maybe. Let's move along here. Lumber's been on a tear. Lumber futures are very thinly traded, and they've hit all-time highs, and that is going to put pressure on home builders. The home builders are complaining to the White House about lumber prices. If you want exposure to lumber, then maybe you can do it via WH maybe. WY, Wisers. I don't even know how to say it. Wisers or something like that. They're basically like a timberland timberland REIT. So you can get some exposure to lumber there, because that lumber future is just way too non-liquid, and it's $10,000 a contract. What I was looking up was home builders. Near me, no. Home builders complain about lumber prices. Let me see. News. I read somewhere that they went to the White House complaining. Home builders, go to White House. Let me see here. So here's the article. It was 2 weeks ago. Home builders urge Biden to get a handle on soaring lumber prices. So Google that and look into that. Now, why do I mention all this? Is because it's inflation. I think we're heading into a commodity super cycle, and you're gonna see things that we've never seen before. Very expensive. Everything's gonna get more expensive. That's why it baffles me that gold is not acting the way it should. I don't know if they're suppressing it on the on the paper markets, because if you look at silver, right? Silver's trading at 25.30, right? And if you want to go buy some silver at APMEX, which is who I use, right? Silver, 25.45, right? And let's shop some silver products, right? Let's go to Eagle. I like the Eagles, right? You're paying for these Eagles. The cheapest way, if you want to pay, is $40. Check or wire, $40 from 1 to 19 ounces. $40 for the physical stuff. So that's telling you something. Something's not right. Huge spot price. I mean, huge premium on top of the spot. And a lot of them have delays. They have delays on deliveries. So I think that the paper markets are being suppressed. And I think one of these days you're going to see some weird stuff happen in the paper markets. That's just what I'm thinking. Just like oil, I don't know if you guys remember a couple months ago, oil went negative because there was so much oil in the world and they didn't even know where to store it, and it went negative. I think you're going to see that, but the other way around in regards to gold and silver. I think that they're messing around with so much paper to maybe suppress the price, that there may come a day that something happens with the dollar or there's a currency issue, and when people want delivery of their metal, they might not have it, and that's going to cause a problem. That's just my 2 cents on that. What else? Small caps had a nice rally. They've been beat up really bad. No sense in looking at best under 10 stocks when you have this thing moving over 2% every day. This is how you need to trade this, in my opinion. This contract is $715, one contract. So that's one contract. And that's the way you need to play that, in my opinion. The NASDAQ had a nice rally. See if it can get back up to 13,000. And Dow Jones had a great rally, 600. Natural gas, undervalued in my opinion. It's just sticking around 270. If you go back in time, natural gas was at $6, and inventories are at 5-year lows. So, commodity, another commodity. What else? Palladium and platinum down with all the metals. Platinum is one to look at. And we talked about silver. The VIX down pretty big today. Grains, get ready for higher food prices. These grains are going to go higher, and they're just going higher and higher. I've been watching them, and it's just they've been doing very well, and you're going to see higher prices in the supermarket. And bonds. So we have bonds climbing. Well, let me rephrase this. The bonds are being sold here in the futures, but it's inverse. So when you have bonds selling off here in the futures, you have yields spiking, interest rates are going up, and that's what this is what it's all been about this week. Remember, the debt market is the biggest market of them all. It's bigger than the stock market. The debt market is the biggest market. So some people are saying, is the Fed losing control of the bond market? Is the bond market telling us that? I mean, either there's two reasons why the bond market could be interest rates could be rising, because the economy is getting better, which I don't think that's the case, or inflation is here, and that's why the rates are rising. Which that's my opinion. The rates are rising because of inflation. So the Fed's kind of in a box because if rates keep rising, the stock market is going to come down. That's a given. You're already seeing that in the action. So the Fed is kind of in a bind, and they've talked about yield control. So there's some talks that they might sell. They might sell front end. So let me pull this up here. Let me see. Actually, let me go over here. Markets, bonds. Okay. So what they might try and do is sell the front end here, like the shorter dated ones. Sell these, so rates go up. Because remember, it's inverse. And then buy these, so rates go down. So that's what they're talking about, and they call that. They have a code name for that. It's called Operation Twist. So some people, Bank of America came out, I think today. I heard another guy saying today that Bank of America was saying that the Fed might do Fed to do Operation Twist, and they've done it before, and it's just words. You see, so Operation Twist is a name given to type of monetary policy performed by the Federal Reserve. It involves buying and selling government bonds in an effort to provide monetary easing for the economy. Although it's not as quite as aggressive as another type of monetary policy called quantitative easing. So you see, and there's some articles down here about it. So, but today, the market sell-off this week, the decline in the stock market has been because of the bonds. The bonds are the biggest market, and if you're having issues there and rates rising, they have correlation with, against the market. If rates go up, it's more money for companies to do business, etc. And that's pretty much a recap of the futures and the market in general. I'm using just more of the futures because there's so much movement in them right now instead of particular, individual names. There are some individual names that I own, and to get exposure to different aspects of and industries and sectors. Like I have DraftKings for gambling online. I have Verizon for dividend and for telecommunications. I have some calendar spreads on the XLF, which are banks. I talked about the energy play. I talked about copper with Freeport-McMoRan. I have Alcoa for aluminum. Really don't have a lot of tech stuff because I just with these moves I just rather just buy the Nasdaq, which I did and had a nice gain today. When there's big movements like that, it's just better to I think to just index and hold them until you get a nice gain, and then you can take a look at it. Let me see something here. I was gonna pull up some of the options. I'll just do another video of that, of some of the individual names that I like. I just wanted to touch base. I haven't done a video in a while, and I got my taxes cleared up, and we're starting a new month of March now. Weeks into it, and February and January were good to start up the year, and got the taxes in the bag, and just keeping eyes on the market. And any questions, just comment and like the video. Anyways, have a good night, have a nice weekend, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.